right. Now today I would like to give a very serious public service announcement for anyone keeping sheep, and I'm not kidding right now. I didn't know this, but cracked corn is actually very bad for them. It'll shut their ruminant down and kill them. I had some cracked corn on the farm for the chickens, and the sheep seem to like it. They could have a little bit of it, but that's actually the only startling thing that I found out raising sheep. Now in the background there, you can see some of the Hell Hollow hen houses from the summertime. And what those are, they're actually portable field shelters that I would move each day, once or twice, the length of the actual shelter. It's really awesome for raising the chicks. You could actually cover, all the sides with the tarp and use it as an incubator, running extension cords and putting the heat lamps in there. And that has really allowed me to expand the farm on a budget without having lots of, barns and whatnot. Although this year I will be building them, have a beautiful log truck of hemlock arriving soon enough, and it's going to be pretty awesome. Got a portable sawmill is going to be brought over there. I'm not using the sawmill. I like playing carpentry. I don't do chainsaws, and I don't do sawmill. That's just me. I grow really nice tomatoes though, so kind of, on things like that, stay in your lane. Get adventurous about maybe going taking a cold plunge in the creek or something, or getting used to being outside and below freezing for maybe 20 minutes at a time. Know your body, don't give yourself hypothermia. I'm not a doctor. I've gotten very bad frostbite as a kid in my feet, so if you could see those boots right there, yeah, I do like having an insulated boot even if it's not that cold, but the rest of me, I could be out here in a loincloth. And in fact, next season, once I'm actually doing the butchering of the lambs on site, not just for my own consumption, but once I get ag and market approval to do that in a lawful manner to sell to restaurants, one of the key things is to look at what your disposal plan is for, say, the bones or the organ meat or any of that. And right now I have a very simple one, and it's Lois and the piglets, Snooky, Dina, and JWoww, and their progeny, yeah, whatever, big word, I'm using it. And they can basically eat any of the butchering waste. Some organs you can't give them too much of. And the way you do that is you actually cook it up in a cauldron, and you put a probe thermometer in the middle, and you could just make a little kind of stove outside with some field stones or whatnot. And it's just about getting, what's up, mama? Oh, they're pushing that across the land. That's what's happening. But the field stove is just about getting the temperature up inside of that to kill any negative, ickies in there that might be able to harm the piggies. The same thing we'll be doing with the chickens this upcoming season. We'll be butchering chickens on site, and going to be taking the carcasses, the organs, all of that, consulting with the vet, and making a beautiful, happy use of everything that's produced on site. And that's really one of the keys to getting a small operation off the ground. At first, I was actually buying manure for my rows. I got the farm started with tomatoes. I had very good plant science skills with tomatoes, and I like things that pick at an economical rate. So bush beans, for example, I grow beautiful bush beans. This year I'll be growing the bush beans, pulling the whole thing out, feeding the whole thing to the hogs. But in the past, picking bush beans is actually really brutal. Whereas if you're going through picking an heirloom tomato that, let's just say you're getting a nice wholesale rate, so right now you'd be getting on a good beefsteak style heirloom tomato, you'd be getting over $3 a pound to a restaurant. So let's say you're picking those, and each tomato is almost from $2 to $3 at that point. Or maybe it's a nice day, it's been raining, and let's say all your tomatoes average at a pound. Much more profitable to fill the basket that way than it is with little, I'm gonna pick each little bean here. Oh, this is so brutal. I've been doing this for a half hour. How many do I have? You can see right there, that Hell Hollow hen house is in a little rougher shape. This is just their storage, anyway. So that's the things. If I was getting a farm off the ground, as I have been, I would focus on the vegetables that you could pick at an efficient rate, and I would get a source of manure on farm. You just really don't want to be putting chemicals into your field. It's just not good. It defeats the overall purpose. What you want to do is to get a well-rounded source of manure. Right now, I got the sheep. Their manure has a lot of phosphorus. Great, yeah, great source of phosphorus. The chicken is one of the most nitrogen-rich manures, so that's also fantastic. And yeah, that's bah, bah. And that's key. And the reason, by the way, they're eating this all-stock feed mix right now and not hay is because of the climate. It was very dry at the end of the summer. I was planning on buying the last cutting of hay. And the grass didn't grow. It didn't happen. So this year with the lumber I have coming here, I'm going to be, first thing is to just build shelters, basically, that even if there's, say, pallets on the ground and tarps on the side, that'll be able to cover enough hay to keep the animals over through the winter, you know. And it's not just these guys, but the pigs also need hay. They use it as bedding, but one thing you have to watch out for is the little piggies will eat their bedding. Which is a little frustrating, but hey, you're still getting your money's worth. And the hogs have almost a 3-to-1 conversion ratio as far as if you give a hog, say, 3 pounds of food, that hog is going to be putting on about a pound of lovely hogliness. And what's so cool with that, if you have, let's say you're doing your heirloom tomatoes, say you got 500 tomato plants as I do this year, you have them all up and happy in your cages. Okay, yay. You're picking tomatoes. You're going to get a lot of imperfect tomatoes. I don't just mean they look a little funky. I mean like something's like a bug has like bit into it, whatever's happened. And you don't want to pass those on to your customers. So what you do, you take those tomatoes and you feed them to the hogs and you make very happy hogs. And happy hogs is key, especially if you're the one who has to go into their shelter every day. Because, yeah, all of a sudden you notice, like, wow, these things can really crunch me up and you know, put a hurting on me. So you want to have happy hogs, not mean and aggressive hogs. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, have a great day. And always remember, eat the lamb.